Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the program. It is a Sunday morning. I'm here to make coffee in my underwear for you, I guess, and also for myself. In a lot of ways, I like to think this is what I would be doing if there was no cameras around. So this is unabashedly me on this Memorial Day weekend, which is not really a thing in Canada. I think the holiday is the week before. I don't know what we memorialize, if anything. They call it the May 2-4 weekend. Can somebody tell me what happens on that day in Canada? Because I don't think we really do anything. Anyway, let's look at the underwear because they are fun and hip. And I was going to write in the thing lime green. But then I realized they're not really lime. They're more neon. There's a hint of yellow in there that I think, and maybe this lighting is distorting it, but I find them to be green. They also have this little seam here, and they have a little tip on it, which I feel like unfairly distorts that area and gives people maybe an incorrect impression. Nevertheless, let me go this way. Live chat. There we go. Okay. Steve Law says, good morning, RJ and everyone. Good morning to you. Tom said good morning. Ty said good morning, everyone. Hi, RJ. How are you doing today? I'm feeling bright and cheery and in touch with my emotions. Mysterious Spaceman said, Charlie Haas totally wore that underwear on his first singles run on SmackDown. And as he should. My hat's off to him, and I think it was a brave, bold choice. Missy said good morning. Matt Spain said good morning. Neil said good morning, watching the ads. That's fine. Everyone should, I guess. Matt said hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Aaron said Victoria Day. Thank you, Aaron, for coming through, because it's Victoria Day, and we sit as Canadians and think about the great memories we have of Queen Victoria, who was the best one. She would sing and dance, and remember, she used to gather everyone around the fireplace and play the spoons. She was great. Take a moment today, even though it's not Victoria Day, to look up in the air, where I'm sure she's watching down, and think of your fondest memory of Queen Victoria and say, hey, Vic, thanks a ton. Leo said they're so bright today. They are very bright, and I think that's what's influencing my mood. Leo said, watching the ads, my God, they are shit. I would love to know what your ads are. People get different geographic. It's not about me. It's not because you're watching this program. It's where you are in the world and the things you click on. So you only have yourself to blame. Hamburger said, who wins a dog collar match, B. Arthur or Angela Lansbury? B has the thicker neck. So she would snap Angela like a twig. Val said, make sure to like the video. You can always unlike it if RJ disappoints you. You can always, that's like having a stack of $1 bills. You go to the restaurant and you take them away. Super said, Yo-Yo RJ, watching this while forced to do a 12-hour shift under duress, you can just quit. That's an option. But if you're not quitting, you're also choosing to do it. And you're watching me while you're working at whatever this job seems to be. So it must be okay. Neil said, oh, Matt Spain is here. Hello, Matt. David said, good morning, RJ, and all the RJ-ites. Leave it to David to coin a nickname for this community that's never existed before and isn't really that catchy. Nail said, and Val, hashtag pop for pancakes. Nail said, hi, David. Val said, morning to everyone, saying good morning to David. David says it back. SM said, feeling like RJ this morning, rubbing aloe on my skin because I got pretty sunburned yesterday. As David can attest, I love the stuff. I drink it and I rub it all over my body. It's good for everything, whether you've been in the sun or not. Maybe you've gotten windburn or snow frostbite. Multi-purpose. Matt said, nails just going hotel things. I don't know what that means. Aaron said, in my experience, Victoria Day is a lot of sitting around on Adirondack chairs, which I hate because it's always like nobody cleans them very well. People invite you to these cottages in Canada and they expect you to like clean up their shit. That's why they invite you. Can you help me move? Can you help me open the cottage? It has to open and close like some sort of mom and pop shop. Not really a fan. And the Adirondack chairs, those deck chairs, you always got to check this. It'll be like daddy long legs underneath them and shit. I wish all animals were named as good-humored as Daddy Longlegs are. It's such a folksy name, you know? And I wish a giraffe was like a rubbernecking horse, you know? Like that. It would be so much fun to go to the zoo if they all had those names. Leo said, I got an ad for an estate agent, and I have never looked at properties online in my life. They're telling you what they want out of you in this society. This is the role you have to fill, property owner. And I would say get on it. So Kari said, good morning. I'm also in a sex dungeon today. I'm watching the show from a dungeon in my best friend's basement. And sometimes that's the best place to be, as long as your friends and your deviances are shared and expressed and respected. Then I say, flog it up and enjoy yourself. Kimbo Gan said, hello, RJ. Hope you have a great day. I hope too. Positively E said, hi. Nail said, is it a show about sex dungeons? Yes. This show is mainly about the maintenance and the business end of sex dungeons, the paperwork, business, balancing the books, the administrative end of running a sex dungeon. David said his love for aloe is really an obsession. Aloe and gum, as David will also attest to. I never had just one piece of gum. I will put multiple in my mouth. It's like, I guess the way people chain smoke. Nail said, those chairs remind me of the Hamptons. And I will tell you, I don't know if you can see it. There's a scar here. I was in Montauk as a child, Nails. And as some of you may know, I don't care for the ocean or lakes or ponds. I like to be able to see my feet. And if I can't see them, I get paranoid about what's in the water. And I assume every fish is out to attack me. This is a long-standing problem I had when I was a child. And to remedy this, and I was 7 years old at the time, to remedy this, my grandmother got me a pair of water shoes. That way I wouldn't have to feel the grossness of the sand, and there would be some grip there. And I loved them. I could go in the water. I could frolic around. It was a great time. And I love them so much because they're amphibious. I can wear them in water, and I can wear them on land. So we're in Montauk. I guess we were there for a couple days. And we went to a frozen yogurt shop. That was very trendy also when I was a child, like mid-90s. Frozen yogurt was like, this is healthy for you. Turned out not to be the case. Anyway, we're there. And this place I remember vividly, all marble floors, marble countertops. And we had gotten our stuff and we had sat down. And I think we didn't have enough spoons. So I was tasked with going up to the counter and getting a spoon. The little plastic spoons are in a cup on the marble countertop. And the rubber of the water shoe skidded on the marble floor, stopping me as I was walking forward. And I fell and I cracked my head open on the corner of the marble countertop. There was blood everywhere. There was just middle-aged women just rushing all around. It was a horror scene. And they took me to the hospital, and I got 7 stitches. And these people were trying to convince my mother to sue the frozen yogurt shop, but she knew, the case would find that her son was just a klutz and an idiot. And that was it. That's Montauk for me. That's what I remember. Sean said, is this a higher resolution than usual? Good morning, culties. Okay, so last week, if you recall, I had a problem with the camera. The setting defaulted and the default laptop camera was on. So I did the whole show like that, and it was a little grainy. This is my better camera. And also, I think I'm getting good light from outside, and I think that helps a lot. Neil said, what would a turtle be? I would be a little shelled poot. Because without his shell, he's just a little poot, That like an old man kind of looks like a Six Flags guy. A shelled poot. Possibly he said Billy Kidman, apropos of nothing. Major FOMO wants to know if I'm in a sex dungeon right now. Wherever you could be is a sex dungeon, depending on how you use it. I think that's the answer. Shanika said that feels like a life motto. I don't know what that's referring to because I've just spoken a lot, but I agree. Positively, he said you need at least 2 tridents, and I thought you meant the ones that Atlantis had. But you're talking about Gum. SM said, I love hearing RJ Scar stories. That's my new series, Scar Stories. Leo said, when are the invites being sent out for RJ City's Florida Key Party 2021? There's a list, and people are very angry that they weren't invited to the last one. So I'm going to have to manage and make sure, we're not quite out of the woods yet for a full key party. So I have people, safety experts, health experts, doctors, and so forth, looking in and seeing the best way we can do this. Okay, Gamer Jessamine Duke said, well, hi, everyone, and well, hi also as well to you. Super Ermac said, not really forced, just helping 2 coworkers out who got sick, had surgery, plus overtime is also nice. So not only are you making more money, you're helping out people. Doesn't sound like a bad scenario to me. Nail said, good morning to Jessamine. SM said, I went snorkeling in the Caribbean and freaked the fuck out. I just felt like I was invading the marine life. It's not for me. SM, I agree. And as I often say, it's not that I don't like nature. It's just that I feel like I don't belong there. I respect it enough. I revere it enough to go, I'm adding nothing here. Leo said, I bet you love middle-aged women running around after you. Maybe that's where it started, Leo. Nell said, oh, Montauk is canceled. Fuck the end and fuck amphibious shoes. I mean, they served a good purpose. I think it was the marble floor's fault. And also maybe I had lazy feet. Julio said, hi, I'm late. I just wake up. Good morning, bestie. My, that's forward. Super said, as long as the camera captures RJ, it's the better camera. Thank you. David said, whenever I hear these Scar stories, I always picture myself as the marble countertop in the scenario, going, oh, God, nice water shoes, kid, making sarcastic remarks. I guess there's no more yogurt for you. Leo said, when will we see your kitchen again? Where exactly is this room? It's a lodge. I come here to think and write. I'm working on a novel. Sean said, I would listen to RJ interviewing wrestlers about their Scar stories. I think when you interview wrestlers about Scar stories, they're pretty straightforward. I was hit with this thing, usually. But if you have like unusual ones, I may pitch that. I have people to picture too. Scar stories. Scar bar. No holds scarred. Maybe that's it. Far, near, or scar could be the name of the Leo. Scar Wars, I think, would be the optimal name. Leo said, do you think Community Center Chaos would be a good spin on Stadium Stampede? I've been a part of many community center chaoses, and they're not that fun, mainly because of the fluorescent lighting. Craig Beckwith says, good morning, everyone. Shanika said, is today the first time someone has said, fuck amphibious shoes? I'd like to imagine so. We've witnessed history, and I think, thank you, and that's a growing list of historical achievements, in addition to being the only person alive, to my knowledge, who can do an impression of Van Johnson. So I got really building quite a resume here, and thank you for being a part of it. Spot Center said, ever throw darts into Sin Bodhi or ever meet and wrestle him? I did wrestle him. And I cannot for the life of me remember what we did in the match, other than it was a really dingy bar, talk about Community Center Chaos, very low ring, but also on top of that, a low ceiling. Not a place wrestling should ever be. But I think I had a nice time. I just don't remember what I did. SM said, oh, French wrestling program Le Boomp. Is Le Boomp doing a highlight reel on you? Why did they ask about our favorite RJ moment of all time? I have no idea. It was quite unprompted, and it made me, I went, oh, this is nice. And then I went, is this my farewell to the troops? The hell is happening here? Positively E said, who is your sugar daddy and who does he work for? His name is Mario Cantone, Cantone. Nail said, I felt like that about the Egyptian section of a museum once. I freaked out and I felt I shouldn't be there. Convinced I was Egyptian in a previous life. Perhaps SM was coral in a previous life. I was once the first, and I've only been hungover less than 5 times in my life. The first time I was at my cousin's and it was St. Patrick's Day and we were having a hoot. And in the morning, my grandmother picked me up and we went to the Brooklyn Museum. These are suddenly turned into New York stories. My grandmother loves Tutankhamun, loved him when it was like the big rage. People were crazy. She was on the bandwagon. And she took me there. My brother and my cousin and I had never been hungover before, so I had panic on top of it. You really think you're going to die because you have nothing to compare it to. And I just, the whole time. And the Egypt exhibit was closed. So we walked around, we saw some fossils, and that was pretty much it. Kim said, I got to touch a dolphin in Cuba. Well, I guess if you see one, you can go touch it. Patrick said, I too have a fear of the sea. We don't know what terrifying creatures are in the deep end of the ocean. For all we know about up there, outer space, we know shit about the ocean. We really do. And it's terrifying. David said, it feels like he's in a misery situation. If you're being held against your will, make a sign. Isn't this whole show a sign? Nail said, I'm now singing Celine Dion Near Scar, wherever you are. Well done, and thank you for your contribution. Julia said, wow, I have a fear of the sea too. Good. I think more people should. Nail said, I had too much fun doing our best RJ moments. I had a feeling RJ would hit it. It's a lot. It was a lot. SM said, I think LaBoomp has fallen under your cult spell as well, and they need more of your content in their life. Well, who knows what will happen in the future. Julio said, RJ, your hair is looking fantastic, especially with the gray spots. Thank you. As you can see, the light is hitting it today. It's all usually about lighting. Nail said, we have for sure indoctrinated Matt Camp. He's one of us, that poor bastard. Leo said, I once went to an Egyptian exhibition with my family in 2008. I was angry they forced me to go, and I was old enough to stay home. Oh, so you just said no, and they were like, okay. That's how little of a contribution you were making to your parents, that they were like, this is fine. Super Ermac said, we know more about space than we do our oceans. Isn't that insane? Isn't that a misappropriation of resources? And I always hear another guy like, this company wants to also go to the moon. There's a story this week. It was like, Canada's planning on going to the moon. I'm like, guys, we really need to reorganize our priorities here because, I disagree. Spot Center said, I love how low ceiling wrestling. Jack Massacre, great name, would chokeslam people and their heads would raise the suspended ceiling tiles. Kurgan, Robert Maillet also used to do that too. Cobbs, motherfucker, said, shit, I'm late again and the ocean is terrifying. Well, thank you for coming around. SM said, Matt Camp has always been one of us. A sure sign of an RJ City cult member is recruiting others, and Penny is evidence of that. He if we experiment with this child, what will happen to it 5-10 years from now? That's what he said to himself. Sean said, isn't this whole show a sign? Kills me. David said, do you know the person that has been to the bottom of the ocean? Is this one of your weird fish asshole jokes again? Matt B said, what do you think of Night Court coming back? It looks okay, I guess. I don't know what to say about it. Quite frankly, I don't know. I think they only announced 2 people, John Larroquette and the girl from The Big Bang Theory. What do you want from me? Sorry, Nuggets is tasting coffee right now. That is exciting. He just sent me a nice bag. He's taste testing coffee, and then if he likes it, he'll tell me, and I will eat it. I mean, yeah, I used to eat coffee as a child. Actually, they used to grind the beans in the grocery store. I would eat it. Val said, we all know RJ has minimal content. That's for sure. Blue Meanie is here and say good morning. All Cobbs motherfucker said, I was almost attacked by sea lions while snorkeling off a bird island down in Mexico. Not a place you should be. I feel like they have every right to attack you. Everyone's saying hi to Blue Meanie. Nails wants to know, has Blue Meanie ever owned amphibious shoes? It's quite possible. Julio said, talking about oceans, which one is your favorite, 11 or 8? Na, 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 na. Good whistler. David put a frozen emoji, and then David said, James Cameron. I don't understand. Nail said, David has several fish asshole jokes. Yes, he does. Cobb's motherfucker said Bird Island is a fun place to snorkel. Beware the sea lions, though. But that's enough for me to say this is not a fun place for me to snorkel. If there's the word beware in any of your conditions, I'm out. David said, I heard some stories about James Cameron recently, and he seems like the new Ruffalo. Well, first of all, you have a personal grievance with Ruffalo, who is a scumbag now, been real for a variety of reasons, and that should always be respected and tolerated no matter what. But I'll go in with the young James Cameron. I haven't heard nice things either. Shanika said, oh, and I was referring to flog it up, sounding like a life motto. Just needs a large wall decal and lovely script font. Maybe you can spell it out in whips. You know, it's a real art piece. Neil said, Nug knows you're busy right now. He's trying to steal some clout. Leo said, you ate coffee as a child? How do you still end up tall? I used to just like dip my finger in the grind. Super said, is Meanie in the chat? Fook, yeah. Nails back with fuck Mark Ruffalo. Clarence said, hi, RJ. Neon green, huh? I like that. So do I. SM said, Nug always looks so regal and fancy. Love his whole aesthetic. I don't know what Nug you're seeing. Julio said, the new Ruffalo helped. David said, James Cameron is the person that has been to the bottom of the sea, and he should stay there. Sean said, James Cameron seems like a mark for himself, you know, in the parlance. I agree. SM said, laughing at RJ reading the Cobb's motherfucker handle. Leo said, how much KFC do you think you could eat before you started crying? I've only had KFC once. I was at a friend's house as a child, and they ordered it for dinner, and there's a family bucket thing, and I couldn't get out. So I think that's enough. Neil said, I just mistook James Cameron for James Corden and was puzzled for a minute. You can put them on the same list. Not crazy about either. Spot Center said, having been allergic to poison ivy for 5 decades. Well, if you're allergic as a child, you should logically continue to be allergic. I pulled up 2 young vines growing in a landscaping event last week. Luckily, I have 7 boxes of gloves from 2020 to continue masturbating safely in your garden. And as you should, just make sure it's enclosed and the neighbors have the blinds closed. SM said, I used to drink coffee as a kid, but I'm 5'3" on a good day. I just blame your genetics. Sean said, oh, I hate James Corden. See what you did, Nails? Major FOMO said, James Cameron has an unhealthy obsession with a sunken ship. Julio said, Cameron is almost the way we call crabs here in Brazil, so it makes sense. Well, I didn't know that. Super Ermac said, I drank coffee as a kid, Cuban coffee especially. I'm 6'2" now. I didn't drink it. I didn't have a morning coffee as a child, but I just used to eat it when you go to the grocery store. All right, let's get pressing. Let's do a standing, but maybe a standing low press so everyone can see the underwear again. This is good. I think this works. I'm using a thumb method, and I want you to all, not try this at home. As professional, I've done it for I guess hundreds of episodes now. Or maybe just hundreds. I don't think we've reached 200. I don't want to go back and count because I feel like it's an ordeal. But nevertheless, there's a nice press. Do not try this at home. Oh, there we go. Oh, what a nice pour. And this is a lovely BRE Start mug, which you can get at down shop.com. It's all right, guys. Don't make any After Dark merchandise. Don't make any Wednesday morning wake up merchandise. Happy to have the BRE Start mug. Fred Bailey said, Guten Morgen und wasch Kaffee. Please translate. I know it's good morning, but I want to know the rest, Fred, please. Won't you come home, Fred Bailey? Leo said, I hate James Corden. It's funny how sick we are of James Corden and Ricky Gervais in the UK. Agreed. Before they went to America and became a bigger problem. America is a great magnifier for the person you were in other countries. Nail said, the underwear is for sure very bright and cheery. Very nice. Julia said, yeah, we call crabs Kamalo. Kamarai. You're going to have to be phonetic with me. Super said, finally, the reason why I pay my phone bill, the coffee and the underwear. Yolanda said, good morning, y'all. That was an impressive press. I'm a trick presser. David said, the standing low press, it's a sign. He's being held captive. He's being held captive. We have to free him. If that doesn't sound like a road trip movie, I don't know what does. Nell said, someone go count for him. We trust you. SM with a request. With a request. Do I talk fast or okay? And I'm excited to do the moves, and do this song. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wandering in the night. What were the chances we'd be sharing love before the night was through? Something in your eyes was so exciting. Something in your smile was so inviting. Something in my heart told me I must have you. Strangers in the night, two lonely people, we were strangers in the night, up till the moment when we said our first hello. Little did we know, love was just a glance away, a warm embracing dance away. And ever since that night, we've been together, lovers at first sight, in love forever. It turned out so right for strangers in the night. Doobie doobie doo, doo doo da dee da 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 do ba 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 ba. It turned out so right for strangers in the night. There you go, and that was Strangers in the Night, believed by Kylie Minogue. Leo said, Gordon Ramsay too, hate that guy. Yeah, let's group them all together. Is there a British celebrity who came to America that you do like, Leo? Steve Coogan? He does go back, and I think maybe that's the trick. Leo said, and Piers Morgan. What's with annoying, talentless English assholes going to America getting more famous? I think they need to also come back, like Rowan Atkinson also came back. Julio said, I have no idea how to teach you how to say camarao. Camarao. It's really hard word for non-Brazilian speakers, I'll say. Fred Bailey said, good morning, underwear coffee speaker. That's what it meant in German. Who could forget? I'm going to put that on a shirt. Matt B said, Gordon Ramsay is quite the douchebag. FOMO was clapping. Nail said, when you think of the lyrics, this song is a little creepy, especially if the glances are exchanged in an alley. Well, why would I be doing that? I'm just a man singing a song. Fred said this needs to be a new entrance theme, only at night. Sean said, slow dancing with my ferret Moonbeam to that wonderful rendition. What a futuristic ferret you have. Julio said, almost fell in love with your voice as usual. Almost. New album comes out when? We're in the studio every day, just trying to get it together. Neil said, I don't hate anyone unless RJ wants to cancel them and there's a curtain. You don't have to hate them. You just have to write them off completely. Spot Center said 60 second scene. We're at the gimmick table. Gimmick table is next to Virgil's. Using no words, the silent scene, just facial expression. Show us your reaction to a family getting worked for numerous pictures. 60 seconds on the clock. And begin. Thank you for coming. And this is scene. That was nice. Shout out to Virgil. Fun guy, fun fella. SM said, I specifically requested that song to hear the doobie doobie doo. Well, I had to get you there. You can't sing that song without doobieing your doobie doo. Michelle said, good morning, y'all. Seems we're in extreme close-up mode today. Lucky for you, no bats in the cave. I was talking about my nose. Everyone enjoying the song of the cicadas. I don't have cicadas right now. I think it happens a little more towards the peak of summer. I also read an article yesterday that they, for some reason, pee everywhere, which is also disgusting. And I will never touch grass for the rest of my life. Matt B said, John Oliver is okay sometimes. Agreed. Hasn't gone to his head. Yolanda said, yeah, I was already swaying, but when you hit that doobie-doobie-doo, now that sealed the deal. Leo said, Piers Morgan came back and became an even bigger asshole. The biggest asshole in Great Britain. He was just tainted. Was he an asshole before that? Before we knew of him? Always interested to trace the lineage. Who would produce a Tony-winning Broadway wrestling musical? I would have to go with the AWA from the Showboat Pavilion, and then they take the Showboat on the road. Sean said, New York, what? Oh, never mind. Jeff said, did I miss your tribute to Gavin MacLeod? Well, my small tribute was in my Instagram story today, promoting this program, where I used the theme from Love Boat. Exciting and new. SM said, when will you release the CD you already have? I got to figure out how to get it on the computer. I don't have the right equipment. I don't have a CD drive. Leo said, someone mentioned Virgil, and it wasn't me this time. Christina said, morning, I just got here. Slept in today, so I don't fall asleep during the pay-per-view tonight. Did we press yet? Just pressing mine now. I mean, I got it in my hand. So you do the math, Christina. You do the math. Julio said, help for some reason. Spot Center said, see, that's where somebody bought a Virgil picture. What? Oh, that picture of Virgil with the Hitman and Volkov in it. Yeah, it's a good picture. Yolanda said, ha, you deserve an Oscar for that performance, or at least a Tony. David said, yeah, it was a short press. Now he seems to be getting emotional. Well, when I think of the influence Virgil has had on my life and career, I'm gone. Get me the whole box of tissues. Neil said, would Virgil attack you if you shouted, don't pay that? Yes. And he probably attacked me anyway. Neil said, thank you for the new reaction gifts. All within 60 seconds, too. Julio said, RJ facial expressions are fantastic. What a talent. Honestly, I hope I can reach people. SM said, I will never touch grass for the rest of my life. It's I take these stances. Neil said, Piers Morgan is vile. Google the phone tapping scandals. He shouldn't have been giving a TV job, never mind several. But he's just so handsome. Spot Center said, Border City Wrestling, ever been? Spot Center, me and David wrestled there. I also wrestled Rey Mysterio there. Pick up a newspaper. Positively E said, what's your Instagram? At RJ City. So I hope you're able to find me. Julio wants to know if you all like the video already. Leo said, Piers Morgan was always an arsehole. That's a British one. He was a disgraced newspaper editor who made fake, sounds like Bennett Cerf, who made fake stories. And then for some reason, Simon Cowell gave him a job on Britain's Got Talent, and he never went away, which tells me Simon Cowell is in cahoots. Also not a nice person. Nug said, did you prefer Gavin MacLeod on McHale's Navy or Mary Tyler Moore? I heartily, as a child, preferred McHale's Navy because I'm a Borgnine man all the way. Just through and through. I loved it. And now I understand it wasn't very good, but I loved it. Nell said, Piers Morgan is not handsome. What, are you kidding me? It's a dashing bastard. Leo said, oh yeah, Simon Cowell, another English chit. I did once send a cardboard cutout of him to someone's work last night, and I think you should send more. Nell said, hey, it's Nug from RJ's phone earlier. Hey, Nug. Nug said, tell your Rey Mysterious story. He came in and he said, someone in this locker room must be a murderer. And I had a big pipe like that. SM said, agreed, Nails. Ben Banya said, good morning, RJ. My wife and I would like to hear a rendition from a favorite Broadway contemporary classic. The word contemporary has thrown me. Okay. I got something we can work with here. Let me see if I can find the lyrics. Here we go. I've given you sunshine. I've given you dirt. You've given me nothing but heartache and hurt. I'm begging you sweetly. I'm down on my knees. Oh, please grow for me. I've given you plant food and water to sip. I've given you potash. You've given me zip. Oh God, how I miss you. Oh Pod, how you tease. Now please grow for me. I've given you southern exposure to get you to thrive. I've pinched your back hard like I'm supposed to. You're barely alive. I've tried you at levels of moisture from desert to mud. I've given you grow lights and mineral supplements. What do you want from me, blood? See, it's foreshadowing basically the rest of the play. I've given you sunlight. I've given you rain. Looks like you're not happy till I open a vein. I'll give you a few drops if that would appease. Now please, oh please, grow for me. And then he leaves, he shuts the door, and the plant goes, and then that's like the end of Act 1, I would say. I hope that worked for you and your wife. It's a nice romantic tune. David said, Piers Morgan is the sailfish to James Cameron's asshole. All you people not familiar with fish species, please look it up. Yolanda said, maybe they meant Peter Brosnan. Oh, Pierce. He's a dashing bastard. Nail said, oh, Rey Mysterious, make that happen. Jeff said, would you ever invite Nia Jax to be on the show? Sure. Would she accept? Probably not. It's open. I don't like to send it. Hey, do you know what I mean? I just put it, it's open. If she wanted to, she is more than welcome. Michelle said, they slap cicadas on pizza here. What? I know insects are delicacies in other countries. I can't do it. How about you? Have you ever tried eating insects? No. And I don't want to. I had a cricket protein bar, but you would not be able to tell. But it messes with your head. My brother, for a time, was a butcher and would bring stuff home and meats to be like, try this. And it's like, oh, it's liver. And then once you say that, it grosses me out. So I don't think I could knowingly eat it. If I didn't know, yeah, absolutely. If I had no idea and it tasted fine, I'll eat anything. SM said, the lighting is truly on point this morning. Thank you. Julio said, Jesus, cicadas? Jeff said, when will you wrestle next? 6 years ago. Leo said, what's your favorite WWE set/stage in history? I am so, and it's such a stupidly typical vintagey answer. I love the old Madison Square Garden house show with the entrance. You would see them walking backstage and through the curtain, and then it would be that small exit. You know what I mean? But it was crowded, and they would have people on the sides to make sure they didn't touch their. That was my favorite. But I also loved maybe Royal Rumble 2000, which was there, and for some reason they put a actual taxi cab on top of it, which was a choice. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going through them all in my head. I loved that. I also really loved, I think it was the first NWO sold out, because they literally went, what is the opposite of every wrestling set? Let's just do that. And they had these light up stairs, and the commentary, they were not at a table. They were sitting on crates or some shit. I enjoyed how it looked, though. David Arquette said, we lost him. RJ should do a behind-the-scenes wrestling musical show like a musical Curb Your Enthusiasm. Who says I'm not slowly working on it? That is a big ask. And if you will remember at the end of WrestleMania After Dark, he said, if you like the show, please tell the world, because there is a lot weirder things I would like to force this company to let me do. And I have a list. and I'm slowly working my way through it. But so far, so good. Fred Bailey said, RJ, you're giving that plant hella many things, that's for sure. Aaron, who is quite the Little Shop of Horrors aficionado, appropriately emoted. Spot Center said, do you still work out? Jesus, thanks. Do you wash your face at all? Do you shower anymore? Could you scoop slam TV's Drew Carey if in front of you right now? I will tell you something. I met him a scant few months ago, and he is tall. He looked big. He obviously lost a lot of weight, and then you don't realize how tall he is. He's a tall bastard. I think I can get him. Ben Bangin said, clearly we need a version of Little Shop wherein RJ plays both Seymour and RJ in a split Victor Victoria suit, which is a tank top I have, and stands in profile when he's either character. I'd watch it. SM said, damn, he's singing extra beautifully. I think it's the brightness of this underwear. Daniel Price said, I thought pineapple on pizza was bad. Cicadas win. Imagine the abomination of cicadas and pineapple on your pizza. Just throw it away. Nail said, yes, we're really getting some feeling today. Julio said, he's really singing extra beautifully. Now, I fall in love. Ben Mangan said, nothing more romantic than encouraging my plant to grow. It's a metaphor for penises. Daniel said, I'll take it. Arquette has met James Cameron. David said, I feel RJ and R-Truth would make beautiful music together. I mean, according to you. And I would say your definition of beautiful music is probably different than a lot of people. Xavier Woods and I could carry a tune. I think Elias and I have quite a harmonic rapport. Michelle said, Julio cicadas on pizza. They're taking advantage because they won't have a chance for another 17 years. See, the value of going away for a while is that when you're back, you're immediately this valued commodity. I should just take 3 years off. Matt B said, better chance of me eating cicadas on pizza than pineapple or ranch. Ranch is just an admission that your pizza is no good. Nell said, oh, David, RJ would roll his eyes and get so mad at R-Truth. Yolanda said, I'm going to start using the word zip again. For example, can I have some chips? Boy, I ain't giving you zip. I got zip. My grandfather and I, our word for zip is Jack Bupkis. It's both Bupkis and Jack shit, I guess. And we just said, I got Jack Bupkis. Got nothing. I got zip. Daniel said, Truth sings, people over there, what's up? My friend over here is in his skivvies. What's up? And RJ sings, what's up? My undies, they're green. What's up? They're comfy. That was quite a reading. Neil said, RJ, are you... Oh, I missed it. RJ, are you willing to give anything away about why you were asking about catchphrases? No, it's nothing major to worry about. It's just a stupid idea I wanted to see if I could pull off. And I wanted to brainstorm them. It's not, I wouldn't, don't hold your breath or, don't get too excited. It's nothing. Spencer said, are you on WikiFeet? I don't know. I'm on some Reddits in these outfits. That's for sure. Leo said, I love beach-themed sets. Bash at the Beach looked amazing, but it would always bother me when they would wrestle there because I'm like, you get sand in your gear. It's like ruined for weeks. I also liked, was it Spring Stampede that had just a bale of hay? Just a bunch of, it was like Savage and DDP. Did they fight at Spring Stampede? That might make sense. There was like a, whatever. There was a hay-themed match. If I eat a cicada, Julio said, I will be singing out loud for a week. It's disgusting. Matt said, was it Backlash that had the giant blade swing? Yes, it did. That was the Backlash. You see. Spicer said, I think I saw a loose emu last week. What's the weirdest animal you've seen out and about? He was loose. He was plastered and having a good time. A deer broke into my high school once. They have double doors in the front, and it broke into the first one and then couldn't get out. Did not know how to find its way out, and then had to bust out of a different door, and it was very sad, but also terrifying because they're beautiful and they seem gentle, and then they have tremendous legs. Leo said, Joe Hendry made his own YouTube sitcom where he played a fictionalized version of himself. It wasn't particularly good. Noted. SM said RJ City plus R Truth, RJ Truth. Gee, that works together swimmingly. Nell said, "Oh no, RJ, you're handsome and buff." Hamburger said, in a black light wrestling match, where would you put your fluorescence? On the mat. That thing is just, the whole thing will light up. SM said, RJ, what would you respond when R Truth says, "What's up?" during his intro music? SM says, I love Elias. Leo said, I can't tell you how disappointed I am. And I click on a Linktree link and there's no OnlyFans on there. I'm sorry. Leo said, RJ is one of the most handsome men I know. Sean said, I know Jack Bupkis, great guy. Fred Bailey said, how did you lose all of your clothing amid and have to do the showing you skip? Because I'm get very hot and I sweat. So they come off. Shanika said, RJ Truth is the super group I didn't know I wanted. And where would you put that album in the record store? What genre would you label that as? Nug said, let's get the band together. Woods on bass, Elias on lead guitar, RJ singing tambourine. Who's drumming? Who's on synth? I think Shayna can carry it to him. And Meatloaf on drums. Neil said, too late. I'm already excited. Neil said, a deer broke into my high school once. It was frightening. Daniel said, a bear wandered into the ER here. Then he was like, I don't know. I'm just as confused as you guys. I'm sorry. Happy Fun Bath Time said, I have a question. Why are the wrestlers moist when entering the ring? Is that baby oil, water, skin so soft from Avon, and why? Well, the sheen of it all is that the light hits your muscles and gives you more definition and makes you look better. It's really a look. There's a lot of things in wrestling where you're like, why do you do this? And it's like, because it looks cool. Like, that's it. My hair, I will wet to keep it from getting like crazy, frizzy, and weird. And sometimes like it'll cool me down. So I'll get very hot. So if I'm already wet, I think it helps. Other than that, some people have a lot of baby oil. It's either baby oil or maybe like a little self-tanner kind of thing. But it can be very annoying. And it gets everywhere. Jeff said, have you met Vince McMahon yet? And how does he prefer coffee? Yeah, I sit here and do Wednesday morning wake up and he'll just pop in. Say, hi, I just want to make sure everything's going okay. Yeah, absolutely. I've not met the man. How does he prefer his coffee? I'm going to say black and from a foam cup. Nails like Shayna and RJ is the actual team we all need. The queen of spades and the dealer, the guy who deals, the cardsman. Nelson, we did that already. Julio said, skin so soft from Avon. My mother used to be friendly with the Avon lady. She was nice. Nail said, happy fun bath time. Best username ever. Nug said, my wife would like to know why the men wet their hair, but the women don't. That's a fascinating question. That is a fascinating question. I can't think of one woman who wets their hair and comes out wet. Most of the women come out very, very dry. Well, I also think their hair is done more. Does that make sense? There's stuff in it, spray and so on and so forth. If not, some are of a synthetic variety that might not be best under the circumstances to get it wet. So I would say that. That might be the reason. I'm going to ask around. I'm going to ask around and let you know what I hear. Andre said, Andre used to yell at Savage for using baby oil, and the hotel manager used to yell at Andre all the time. You have to pay for a whole new bathtub. Timothy Knupp said, RJ, you're the only member of the Honey Mustard crew who doesn't care for Honey Mustard. Didn't know I was in the group. David said, who's on synth? Third base. Speaking of bands, I would really, if you guys are interested, and I'm sure they're going to do a reunion tour when we all get back to normal. David's wonderful band, Ear 2000. He's going to round up troops and put out the music we so desperately deserve. Leo's talking gimmick infringement. I remember some idiot promoter complaining that No Way Jose was a ripoff of some Scottish wrestler nobody cares about. I did not hear that at all. Happy Fun Bath Time said, thank you for answering my question. Woo! From the bath. They asked that question. From the bath. Revenge said, do you think rutabaga is a funny word? Yes, but not as funny as Hassenpfeffer. Julio said, happy fun bath time. Please come every Sunday. Matt said, I mean, there's only room for one guitar gimmick, right? Unless there's like a dueling guitars thing. SM said, when we moved to our current house in the 80s, a woman knocked on our door to announce she sold Avon, and this was her territory. Don't fuck with the Avon ladies. Those are like, when people talk about the streets, turf wars, it's mainly Avon ladies. Fred Bailey said, RJ, has Danhausen sent you some energy beans yet? Now that he's rich and sort of famous. I love the spicy water mug design. Thank you, but he needs to hook you up. Fred, if you look back on my YouTube channel maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, you will see that I did an episode devoted to the coffee housing. So I suggest you bone up on your content, sir. Chase Lively said, Danhausen on pipe organ, which sounds erotic. Nail said, Fred, there's a whole... Oh, yeah, wait, I addressed this, damn it. Julio said, in Brazil, your show would be called Café do Cuqueca. Am I pronouncing that correctly? SM said, any update on the neighborhood watch sign picture from your mom? She keeps saying it's not there. I keep saying you're looking in the wrong place. So maybe once every 2 weeks we go through this. I'm still trying to get it. Daniel said, dude, my mom was all about the Tupperware and the Avon back in the day. That was the talk about a cult. Nail said, Hassenpfeffer. How do you spell it? Is it from Laverne and Shirley? Oh, I'll just use the emote. Appropriate emoji use. I first heard of it in Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny and a king, and the king wanted Hassenpfeffer. I think you spelled it correctly. Shamil Shamazel, Hassenpfeffer Incorporated. I think they own the trademark now. Timothy Knapp said, you're an honorary member. It's like being a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse margarita, just bragging rights. That's all. I never want to be in a club that would have me as a member. So I kick me out already. Derek said, best pair of underwear yet. Model for us who came in late, please. Derek, Jesus, please. You're ruining it for everyone. They're hip and nice and fun. We have a good time. And it's a good cut. It's a nice, fun cut. Brighten everyone's day. Fred said he's boning up right now. Julio said, you said cafe right, but it's something like, cueca. I see you put the thing and I don't know how to say it. Yolanda said, because the wet look normally doesn't look sexy. They only do it to look crazy like Sue Young. Also, their hair would be heavy and even more in the way. But me, I like the weight. Actually, one time I used to come out with dry hair and somebody grabbed me in a chin lock once and I got hair in my mouth and I started choking and I freaked out. And now I always tie it like this and wet it because it just freaks me out. Neil said, your mom would be terrible in neighborhood watch if she can't find a sign. She watches. Oh, she watches. Timothy Knapp said, member, not margarita. Whatever. Either way. Fred said, I slayed for some reason. Neil said, wow, today has flown and we shall continue flying. Hassenpfeffer. That's how you say it? Hassenpfeffer is German for rabbit. Said happy fun bath time and thank you. Major FOMO said nice tchits. Leo said with Mike Tyson in the inner circle, why do you think chance of Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins is not a nice guy. Nug said Hassenpfeffer, rabbit stew. I enjoyed it when it was Haas. I thought it was H-O-S. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Julio said, now you said it right. Well, now I've forgotten how I said it. Pfeffer means pepper. So maybe it's rabbit pepper. Maybe that's how that works. Thank you, everyone. What are all these languages today? Revenge said, your gray hairs make you look like Mr. Fantastic. Call me Mr. Adequate. Derek said, my husband said you are giving him hair goals. Well, that's nice. David said, in Chile, they have something called coffee with legs. And that's kind of what you do. I'd like to think so, too. And I look forward to never going to Chile. Not that I don't like it. Chile. Not that I don't like it. I just saw it's far. Christina said, what's today's cheat meal? I bought it this week, Ben & Jerry's coconut 7-layer something. It looks delightful. Will I crack it open? Will something else come along to knock it off its pedestal? I'm not quite sure. But so far, that's on the list. Spot Hunter said, do they give out tickets for shaking hands in Ontario? I saw a wacky video. They should. They should also give it out in wrestling locker rooms now. I think it's a good idea we get rid of some of the things from before that weren't so good. Imagine if it became a thing to wear a mask when you're sick, and that way other people don't get sick. Like the flu, like nobody got the flu anymore. That would be amazing. At least once a year I will get sick. And it sucks and it bothers me. So to have the confidence that I could do and not get sick would be phenomenal. Like I said, that's because I'm a hoss guy. I'm a big hoss. I'm a boss hog. Which would make me a hoss. Daniel said, people make me want to go watch Laverne and Shirley. You can watch my wrestling episode of Laverne and Shirley if you're so inclined. Leo said, Tony Robbins is the worst. All those lifestyle gurus are. It's almost like preaching a lot of positivity is a bad, sometimes dangerous idea. Anyone who says, listen to me, should really not be paid attention to. Neil said, RJ, will you make a pin or some pins? Seeing as you have all the fancy art logo, it is a pain in the ass to do the pins. I had one guy who did really nice pins, Pollyanna, and then he stopped making them. And then there was another person who was going to make them and then never got back to me. And to do it online, it's one of those pre-order things where I'll have to look it up, but it's like only if there was 100 pre-orders or some shit would they start making them, which is like such a pain in the ass. I will look into it again. Jeff said, are you rooting for the Maple Leafs? Sure. I like autumn. SM said, my mom is the neighborhood watch on her street. She will scream at people not to park in front of our house. I think she's just watching her own house. Pretty sure the neighbor across the street sells weed. So there are lots of shady people, which is a good thing she's there. There's a lot. People who are a neighborhood watch want to watch. They want shit going down on the street. Michelle said, Haas was my favorite on Bonanza. Leo said, self-help only helps people become really fucking weird. Agreed, Leo. Hamburger said, in a singles match between Laverne and Shirley, who wins? Penny Marshall by heads and tails. If you watch my coverage of their wrestling episode, you will see that Penny Marshall really worked the entire match. And she's a wonderful athlete. And I'm serious. Timothy said, all jokes, but real question, has there ever been a coffee that was so good but couldn't find it? Well, what I guess I'm asking you is, have you ever had that coffee that got away? There have been coffee shops that have closed down, and I have missed them dearly. I will say that. Some in Toronto that I just used to frequent, and then they're not there anymore. And you don't know what to do, or they change up the menu, that kind of thing. But a specific coffee, no. You can always get good coffee. As I said, look, Nails, Rob is here, the guy who knows about everything. Julio said, see, I would like to see RJ trying different types of coffee in the world. Do you want to do it someday, RJ? Do I want to get paid to do it? Yes. Spot Center said, I saw a guy get beat with a steel chair 3 times, and the rumor was it was for not shaking hands in the locker room. Yeah, that's a bullshit thing that needs to end. David said, Santiago is a delightful city, and the Atacama desert is gorgeous. The Atacama desert is gorgeous. I'm not saying it's not gorgeous. I'm not disagreeing with you, and I don't think you're bad for being there. I just don't want to go. Nell said, Kevin Koo makes pins for Danhausen, and you're looking as if he's here. Happy Fun Bath Time said, we need to get sick to strengthen your immune system. It's like working out the muscles. Haven't I been sick enough, though? Been sick like a bunch of times. I think we're good. Rob said he's never caught the Chilean coffee with legs yet, Timothy. So there's that. That's true. Julio said, David Arquette, Latin America lover. I love to say you should see him dance. Daniel said, after seeing the movie Alive, thoughts of going to South America seem less fun. You can have a weird horror movie anywhere. Neil said, I miss Costa Coffee in the USA. What do you want from me? Jeff said, I saw a mushroom-based coffee last week at a local coffee place. Would you try it? Early on in one of these episodes of Coffee and Underwear, I did try one, and you don't notice the difference. It's more alert and clearer focus, sure. Matt said, mushroom coffee, not a fan. Daniel said, for some reason, I now want to see a movie with Arquette as a gaucho in South America seeking vengeance for a fallen llama. And when they fall hard. Leo said, I'd love to see him dancing. Happy Fun Bath Time said, who do you contact for wrestling ideas? I consult the Lord up above. I just close my eyes and they come to me. Well, that is the program. Michelle said, have a great day. See you all in June. Oh, yeah, it's going to be June soon. Oh, my. It's still spring. So let's enjoy the peak of spring when it gets too hot. And then I'm going to complain even more. So that was the program. Let's get a final shot of these huckleberries. I enjoy them very much. A nice mug, uuddshop.com. Good legs today. Look at this bastard. All right. Well, that's it. I'll be around. Godspeed.